Satan was the serpent in the Garden of Eden. He and his demons are everywhere. I will grow more powerful and spread his darkness and despair. The devil tells us to destroy religions, except for his, 'cause it's the best. And sometimes we please him by taking drugs, killing humans and drinking their blood.
That doesn't make sense.
It does make sense.
It's like an audio equivalent of a mass grave.
I've been elbow deep in your family member's poop. Wow, you have been right. Okay.
Some birds want it.
Look at the way they flop their feathers.
Jesus loves porn too. And welcome to Atheist Airwaves, your no-filter look at current news and issues.
I swear I turned that off.
Do we have to do that all over again?
Just Jay's part.
And welcome to Atheist Airwaves, your no-filter look at current news and issues facing atheists and the atheist community. I'm Jay Guerrero.
I'm Christian Ferris.
I'm Amanda Stevens.
And I'm Susan Turpin. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter by searching for Atheist Airwaves. We record live every Tuesday at 7:30 Central, so if you're listening via podcast, we encourage you to join us in the Ustream chat room, catch all the really fun things that don't make it to the recorded version.
So our intro audio this week was a portion of the song That Doesn't Make Sense, written by Jonathan Hurley and Whitney Avalon, about how various religions do not make sense, except for Satanism, of course.
Duh.
The song actually won a Logan Whitehurst Memorial Award, whatever the hell that is, for Outstanding Comedy Music Video last month. And you can see the video on YouTube, or actually even buy a copy of it on YouTube or on iTunes. Mm-hmm. The reason this song is noteworthy, beyond being hilarious, is because the songwriter Jonathan Hurley was fired from his teaching job and then freaking blacklisted from the entire school district for it. And then, having violated his First Amendment rights, the principal decided to document that fact in his employee record. I mean, like, actually put it, we're violating his First Amendment rights, put that in his employee file. How do you think
Just
Okay,
so
they-
he can have a suit.
Just to clarify, they fired him because of this video.
Yes.
And their reasoning...
Oh, I have the quote here. Literally, they put it in the personnel file. It said that he had been removed because his website contained a song that parodies various religions and that students have access to it because it's on the interwebs.
So he didn't present this in class?
Nope.
Never brought up atheism.
No joke.
Yeah,
Wow.
just had a song on the internet and got not just fired, but blacklisted so that he could have no job anywhere near where he lives.
Well, you know, and there was nobody at all that, like, parents or fellow teachers or anything that complained about it. Administration just took him out of the classroom sort of as a preemptive sort of thing. And it's
Christian persecution strike.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
Cool.
the good news, though, is that the ACLU and a law firm by the name of Fish and Richardson,
Yummy.
they took on the case, and as soon as the city attorney saw it, he was like, "Oh crap!
Why have you done this to me?
Son of a bitch.
What is wrong with you?"
He's gonna be rich.
So they settled that case this week.
Go figure. So is he allowed to teach again?
Yep, and they are giving him positive references when potential employers call. They have given him an undisclosed amount of money because, oh crap.
So he don't have to substitute teach no more.
He's on a beach in the Caribbean. That kind of
Just
deal.
singing that song and counting his money.
I kind of don't know how I feel about this because on one hand, dude, if he's, you know, when he's off work, he shouldn't have to worry about what his employers are saying. Like that
Right.
just makes sense. But I know there is kind of a different sort of expectation with teachers.
There should not be.
But
there
I know,
is.
yeah, there is, because my sister and brother-in-law are both teachers. They're both band directors, and they both have a policy where they will not accept friend requests from students, former students, or parents. And I'm like, well, that's a good idea.
Right.
But they just have to worry so much about it.
But I mean, I think that's because teachers have been unfairly targeted many, many times. Not just for religious reasons, but I'm thinking about women who have had nude photographs of themselves online and they've been removed as if that has anything to do with what goes on in the classroom. Like they're up there and they've got the smart board and they're like, okay, point to the teachers, hoo-hoo. No.
I wish they would have done that for some of my teachers.
You probably would have shown up a little more.
Hell
Right?
yeah.
Texas could actually use that in the classroom just a little bit.
A little bit.
Well-
Because how many students in Texas literally could find the teachers who? Probably not many.
Yeah, and you would literally have to call it the hoo-hoo because nobody knows the actual term.
The parents would be offended if you actually used the words penis and vagina in the
Oh,
classroom.
whoa. We're a family podcast.
Well,
Take it
what?
easy.
Hold on. I'm out, guys. See you later.
I quit.
Take
It's
it easy.
Tinklebox and hoo-hoo dilly. Thank you.
Who? Tinklebox and hoo-hoo dilly.
That's right.
I'm using those tonight.
Glad I could help,
You're
Jay.
going to use your tinkle box, is that?
I'm going to use somebody's tinklebox with my hoo-hoo dilly.
Wow.
Okay.
The shit you wrote me into saying.
He doesn't rope you into saying anything, dude. You just like throw that lasso out there and get it your damn self.
But no, you're right. Teachers do have that unfair stigma. I've known actually a couple teachers in alternative lifestyles down here that have had to really be ultra careful about it. It's silly. It's no different than, shit, priests who play with little boys get away with it. Why can't teachers just have a real life?
Yeah.
Well, but at the same time, then you have the idiot teachers. Like, there's one teacher down here that was just arrested today because she had an inappropriate relationship with a student.
Yep.
Was she cute?
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
As a student, a former student, yes, it does.
Well, regardless, like they decided to fire her first, and then they arrested her today for
I am
it.
in no way justifying pedophilia or statutory rape right now. But isn't it weird? This is just my own perception. Most of the women who are messing around with students, they're kind of cute. Like all of them. And that's, I don't know.
But then why are they messing around with students, though?
I don't know. But I'm just saying it's
Because
very...
they're child predators.
That is really
I
strange.
think you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
It is strange, though. We don't see that very much in the opposite end. We don't see a lot of males messing around with younger female students.
Well, but when you do, they are severely
Yeah.
Well,
They're what?
No,
Okay,
there
wait,
was.
Did anybody finish that thought?
Two things. First, Rebel 1852 in the chat room says he heard the kid died from all the high fives he got, which is just horrible. That's just terrible.
That
You
is
should
horrible.
That's the worst way to go.
Right.
Oh my god.
Death by 1,000 high fives. And then there was another thing that I was going to say,
Sorry, go ahead.
but I don't remember what it is.
Well, whenever you see this happen with a male teacher and a female student, more often than not, they will sort of vilify both parties in that case. They will say, oh, well, the man was, a pedophile, he was a predator, and the girl was asking
Slut.
for it. Yeah, she was a slut, and it's a lot of slut shaming whenever it's a...
Whereas the boys, it's like, oh no, he died of high fives because you're so good at fucking your teacher.
Yeah, because
No,
how
it's
great
still
is
child
it?
rape. It's
Yeah.
still child rape.
How do you know he was good at it?
Just assuming if he's getting that
Yeah.
many high fives.
Yeah, but it's just kind of, I don't know. I think we should apply the same standards either way.
No, I totally agree.
No, for sure. Being totally not funny at all. I would be appalled because as a young person, you are still trying to figure all that stuff out, and if you have an adult who, I hope, understands all that stuff, that can just
Under the letter of the law, it's statutory rape, no matter what.
even if it wasn't against the law, I would still say that that's not an okay thing. Even just from a power differential.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just find it strange that we hear more often of female teachers having relationships with male students and not the opposite way around. Because it wasn't that long ago in our culture and many other cultures that it was commonplace for older men to marry very, very young women. So I just find it strange that go ahead.
So this was the other thing that I was going to say. I wonder, because the other thing is missing children. You hear they put on the news the young white
Well, of
blonde
course.
kids, but not the minority children.
Yeah,
You don't.
yeah.
Those don't get national attention. Darth Vader. And I just wonder if the reason that my perception of all of these child raping teachers is that they're cute women is that those are the ones that the news organizations are actually telling us about because they're like, ooh, check her out. I'm going to put her on the news.
Very possible.
Yeah, it's the Natalie Holloway syndrome. Like,
What?
she got so much. 2005, she just graduated.
Name.
Yeah, but Nancy Grace and all of the other quote-unquote newscasters spent so much time focusing on her because she was
Pretty
blonde-haired,
blonde
blue-eyed, white
All-American.
female from America. And, I mean, this sort of stuff happens to...
Native
people
women,
of color,
African American women.
happens to people of color every single day that we never know about.
Jeff Crime in the chat room wants to know if we should be slut-shaming guys also, if that's the solution.
No,
Absolutely, yes. I say slut shame guys.
just don't slut
shame
shame.
anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Except child predators. They are okay to slut shame.
Again, equal and opposite reaction. I mean, if we're gonna slut shame the women, we gotta slut shame the boys too, and then we can have the.
Well, I'm just saying maybe we could just do high five slut. Yeah, maybe we just like combine the two.
Where it's
I like this. When do I get mine?
it's like a compliment open
I can't reach, but
air high five.
Post show will give you your slut high five.
On your hoo-hoo dilly.
But not on his tinkle
I
box.
say, how do you know I don't have a tinkle box?
Assumptions. I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so the other thing
You fucking turn Canadian?
That's just how I say sorry.
are you serious right now? I thought you were just.
No, it's
That's how
just
you-
what I do. I think I spent my formative years
Tell her
with
how-
Jim Carrey movies.
Tell her how you say Reynolds. Just this once, I'll allow it.
Reynolds.
Okay, shut up now.
But I also say mayonnaise too.
Okay, stop that.
Guys, y'all are fucking weird.
And I also say cattywampus.
Y'all are fucking weird.
No, we're not.
Weird.
We're not talking about this anymore.
Okay, yeah. Tangent over. Tangent over.
For now.
So the other thing is we had a bit of a small get together here at Reb Studios.
If you missed it,
You didn't miss much.
yeah.
So Atheist TV started today. That's American Atheists. They have their new television station, which you can get at atheists.tv or on Roku channel something or the other. They're going to be making it available to, what do you call the public access?
There we go.
Hopefully they're going to be
Those
making it more
guys.
interesting too.
Right. Well, okay. So first, let me back up because I think the intro from Dave Silverman was freaking awesome, and I know you missed it. I blew in here literally as the countdown went to 0,
You did.
and I was boom in the room. Dave Silverman's intro was awesome. Within 20 seconds, he had already violated some of the most extreme tenets of Islam, and I'm like, high five, slut.
Show title.
I'm just going to high five people and just go, slut!
Oh, you have to say high five, slut. Anyway.
So
yeah.
he took a shot at the History Channel on ancient aliens. I loved his entire intro, which you completely missed. And then it got to what I think Atheist TV is going to be like for a while.
Madeline Murray O'Hare?
Actually, I liked that too. because
That wasn't bad.
I liked the Madeline Murray O'Hare speeches that they played.
The speeches that we could hear.
Right. So, and then they went in, they just played the Reason Rally DVD, and I'm like, okay. But I think that's what it's going to be for a little while, is just playing old stuff. Dave Silverman did say that it was going to also be some original content programming. They have some Hollywood people whose names we don't know.
Fancy.
And I know that, the Atheist Experience is going to be on there as I understand it. So, I mean, it has potential, and I want to get it on Corpus Christi community public access television.
Oh, that would be
possible,
great.
Right?
They only have up to go. Because I'm going to be the asshole who said, that really sucked.
Well, you missed the good part, and that's the problem.
Okay, maybe that's the case. But, I mean, the entire thing just reminded me of a high school AV class project. I mean, it was just like really, really crappy audio. Okay, that's better audio. Oh, it's back to crappy. Oh, it's good again.
Well, but you're talking about video from over like 30 years. I mean, you know,
Okay, yeah, the O'Hare stuff is really old.
really old stuff.
Yeah, that's
and I mean, Reb has some really good sound system, and
He does.
his freaking subwoofer is world class. The good
Tickles
stuff.
your
Yeah,
tickle box or tinkle box, or
my-
whatever the fuck it was.
My single box was feeling good. But I think it's just a matter of old footage versus new footage, because the new footage sounded awesome. My only thing is I wish they had done a little more original programming other than Dave Silverman's intro. And I think the Thinking Atheists, whose name is Seth something, I can't remember his last name.
That'll get edited in.
Is anyone in the... Okay.
Thanks, that guy.
Are you Googling?
Seth Andrews.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say that, and I was like, that's not right. The Thinking Atheist, Seth Andrews, he did a lot of that. You know, the trailer that they put together, he did that, and that stuff sounded awesome. The audio quality was awesome. That's when my tinkle box was all like, but then they had the old audio. So I'm just saying, it's got promise. I'm happy it's here. We got bored.
Yeah. I'll just call it like I see it. It was okay.
We also watched one really horrible musician, one fairly good musician, and half of a beat poet's
Which when I could...
shtick.
Yeah.
It wasn't beat poetry.
No. It was...
You call it beat poetry because he's black?
No, I
You
mean...
racist. it was seriously more like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
But it was good when I was paying attention, but I was so disinterested. Oh, she's like, writing you a hate letter right
Yes.
now.
If I'm going to get called out, I'm going to call everybody else out too. Fuck you.
All right, so let's move on to actual news.
We have some of that?
We do.
Only a little bit. So we have gotten into the circumcision debate enough times on the show that everybody knows where we stand.
I'm for cutting a dick.
Well,
Oh, wait, no.
not this week.
I'm against that.
Yeah, the general stance is that genital mutilation is bad. And when it involves a religious practice that actually gives babies herpes before they even know what a boner is, it just makes it even worse. So for those who aren't familiar, a Jewish baby has their circumcision, or it's otherwise known as the bris. They're 8 days old, and it involves the rabbi performing a metzitza.
Mitzitza Bapeh.
There we go. Thank you. And
I had to practice that.
I'm really impressed right now. And that actually is the equivalent of a baby blowjob. And while it may seem like fun to certain people, the way that Jay
To
is looking
the
at me right
rabbi,
now,
the mohel,
the
moil.
moil. Yeah, it may be really, really fun to the moil because he does this on a regular basis. There's actually been numerous cases of babies contracting herpes simplex virus. And recently in New York, there were 2 more that contracted it. And I'd seen a statistic that said that since 2000, there have been 16 cases, I believe, that were reported. 2 of those kids died.
I think 4 of them got brain damage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a problem. And the thing that really drives me crazy is that the ultra-Orthodox Jewish groups are saying that this practice is totally safe. And so most moils apparently in New York are completely ignoring the new law that went into effect last January, saying you have to get
A condom on the baby?
written consent from the parents, saying, I understand that my baby could die or be brain damaged.
So these parents are like signing a release form that says, yes, you can blow my baby?
Most of them aren't.
Because
That's the thing.
The Moyles are ignoring it because they're saying this thing that killed all these babies and gave them brain damage, totally safe.
It was totally a religious ritual, and we have no reason to ever answer to government or, Department of Health and Mental Hygiene because religious persecution.
Yay, religious freedom.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, though, this is like the strangest thing ever, because in this country, the law now says you can legally perform a sex act on an infant as long as you meet 2 qualifications. 1, you have to be Jewish. And 2, you have to rip the tip off the infant's dick first.
Well, I got one of those going for me.
I mean, it's like an infant-flavored Capri Sun. And
Yum.
what?
That's my...
Are we, I mean, has anyone... No? Has anyone... I mean,
No, I've never sucked a baby's dick.
that's what everyone says. But everyone's done it. Come on, it's like masturbation. Everyone sucked off a baby.
I've never masturbated.
Oh, you are so wrong.
That's like sucking off a baby. Everyone says they haven't done it, but they have.
But it's okay if they get herpes, because if they die, they go to heaven because their foreskin was removed. Yay!
It was God's plan.
They fulfilled the covenant. Now God will give them a rainbow for their gay blowjob.
Wait, but so if a baby dies and goes to heaven, do they stay a baby forever? Do they eventually get to grow up?
No.
That sucks, man.
Right? And then when Jesus comes back and everyone gets their bodies back, they're going to have little baby bodies. They're going to be the creepiest motherfuckers on the planet. These little babies walking around.
That's creepy, but I just realized that heaven is a really fucking annoying place with a bunch of babies crying because they never grow up.
A lot.
It's certain people's hell, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Like me. So what was it you were saying earlier, Christian, about the blowjobs? That's the best blowjob you'll ever have.
Say what now?
I think you were the one who said that.
Yeah. I can't remember why I was saying that, but yes. All right, so I have some questions that I want to ask, like these Moyle guys. Can you guys try and like
Be Jewish.
Yeah, like just channel your inner Moyle for a moment, and I've just got like questions.
Quick, someone
You're
curl
asking
my
me to be
hair.
Jewish?
Yes, just for a moment.
Okay.
Okay. So my first question would be, why are you giving babies blowjobs?
How are you contracting herpes if you're supposed to?
Hey, I'm asking the
He's
questions,
asking
buddy.
the questions, man. You're supposed to be Jewish.
Supposed to be being the operative words
Okay.
of that phrase. Okay.
You're asking me why I give babies blowjobs?
Why are you?
Because they taste like bagels.
Dear God.
Is it?
I'm
never
already
mind.
regretting doing this. Already.
Yeah.
Really, look what
You
you're
really
fucking
should have
asking,
seen
dude.
this coming.
I'm gonna keep going because I'm
Okay.
I'm a glutton for punishment. Okay. So, have you ever thought about not sucking off babies if you have herpes? Is that something that you've thought about? Okay, so
I don't know how to answer this seriously.
God's blessings come from herpes.
So my follow-up to that question, which you're so artfully dodging, would be, since you're basically going down on dudes on camera, do you think that the laws governing porn stars being tested should be enforced on Moyles?
Wouldn't that technically be child pornography?
No, we should just like, what's the have a seat over here guy?
Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Chris Hansen, yeah, we should just have him go to all these bristles.
Tech Leslie in the chat room just quit.
I'm trying to come up with a funny, and somewhat intelligible response to these questions. Did you really expect us to come up with something? Or are these supposed to be?
These are like
rhetorical?
what? No, these are questions
Unanswerable.
that are unanswerable unless you're just an awful person. I mean, I understand you're an awful person, which is why I was asking you.
That's why he picked you instead of me or Stevens.
All right,
You should have given me time to prepare for these, man. This should.
I figured it'd be better just off the cuff, but I've learned my lesson. All right.
Was that a reference to baby penises?
Oh.
They do. Oh, there's the little thing and the knife. And it's like,
Yep.
shing. Oh, sure. Male genital mutilation is all fun and games until someone loses a cock.
Until somebody gets herpes. Anyway.
All right, so let's move on. Just briefly, I wanted to mention a hilarious lawsuit that is going on right now. The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is being sued by a Dr. Tobenik because they dared to say something about his alleged woo-woo science, which is just crazy. But I wanted to mention it because they're fighting it, which is awesome, and not going to be cheap. So, they're sticking by their guns, which I think is freaking amazing. If you don't know what the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is, please go download that podcast. It's like the second best podcast you can listen to after this.
us?
Yeah, after this one, of course.
Obviously.
They're not as highbrow as we are, but so you won't hear things about
Fancy.
baby blowjobs on their podcast. But
I really feel sorry for people who don't hear things about baby blowjobs on a regular basis. Yeah. Actually, there's a couple things I want to point out about this. the thing is that he's prescribing a drug. He's Enbrel is what it's called. He's prescribing it for off-label use, and that happens. People like doctors will do that. They'll do antidepressants for migraines and stuff like that. But the problem is that he was prescribing it for Alzheimer's and saying, look at this these great results that it's had on these Alzheimer's patients, and they're doing so much better. But the problem is that he didn't do humongously the placebo effect, because he really only ran it like once or maybe twice. He did not do a double-blind study, so it's not even really scientific findings. It's not anything that's going to stand up in scrutiny. And he's saying all of this stuff as gospel. Yes, Jay.
What has he done? I don't understand who's suing who for what.
So the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe. Let's see. Stephen Novella had
Dr. Stephen
Novella had published an article basically calling out this doctor, because this doctor was saying, look at these wonderful benefits for off-label use of Enbrel, because this doctor was saying, look at how wonderfully it works. It's going to completely take care of Alzheimer's.
And all of you desperate people give me a ridiculous amount of money to participate in this thing, which is completely scientifically unproven. And they basically called him out and said, you're taking advantage of people who are losing their faculties and will literally pay money for a miracle.
And he's doing it with basically zero
evidence.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And he got super butthurt about it.
That's one way of putting it.
Like we said, highbrow. But he's pretending like he has hard science to back up these claims when he doesn't. Was it the hard science?
After the butt hurt? Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Sorry, Jay and I shared a moment. We shared a glance across the room.
It was a
Thanks,
bromance.
guys. Anyway. So what's really funny is Dr. Novella actually is a neurologist. He's a neurologist at Yale. And Dr. Tobenik is, internal medicine. I believe he's a doctor of internal medicine. So it's like you have no reason to be saying any of this stuff.
The other thing is that the lawsuit claims that the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe episode and the blog post on, is it science-based medicine?
Yes.
Okay. The blog post on science-based medicine are marketing for his practice at Yale University, which is a university clinic. They don't actually they've got a waiting list, but they're not actually
For profit.
Right. This guy is thousands of miles away, and basically what he's saying is that they're bad-mouthing him to steal patients away from him. Now, the reason that he's doing that, which Dr. Stephen Novella theorizes, is that the legal bar for suing someone over marketing is far lower than over just someone exercising their First Amendment rights to free speech.
Sure.
Talk shit about you.
He's going. He's taking the avenue of least resistance.
I think he's hoping that these guys would just fold. So ultimately, what I wanted to say was, they are taking donations to help against their legal fund, because they're like, "F you, guy. We are going to stand firm, stick to our guns,
Good.
and you're a douchebag, and we're going to make sure that you don't get away with just silencing us through an expensive lawsuit." So whether you go and sign up for they have a monthly plan, they have really cool stuff you can get.
Are they on Patreon?
They're not. They have their own thing.
We're on Patreon.
We are on Patreon. So if you can only support one podcast this year, you should go to patreon.com/atheist airwaves. But if you can do two, you should also go to the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe and throw them some money. I did this today just to keep for science and reason-based thinking.
For science.
Yay.
All right.
Jews or something. I don't know.
I'll edit
No,
that
we
out.
moved on from that one.
I'll edit that out.
Moving on.
All right. The mayor of Warren, Michigan has gotten himself into a little bit of trouble.
I hear it's lovely there this time of year.
Is it?
Quite possibly.
No, I've never heard that. It's Michigan.
Yeah. I've never heard that about Michigan ever.
It's
Apologies
probably-
to our Michigan listeners, and I know we have at least one.
Hey,
Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah,
we do.
do.
Hey, Michigan listener, fuck you.
Sorry, Matt.
All right. So Jim Fouts is the mayor of Warren, Michigan, and he has written a letter that is getting him into all sorts of legal trouble. See, a citizen wanted to put up a reason station next to the prayer station in the town's civic center, which is apparently
Dun,
a
dun,
thing.
dun.
Yeah, and you would usually think like, all right, somebody wants to set up like Lucy's psychiatric booth from Charlie Brown. Yay, go
Doctor is
ahead.
in.
5
Exactly.
cents.
But no, he thinks it's a terrible idea. His letter said, in part, "We cannot and will not restrict this right for any religion to use the atrium as long as the activity is open to all religions. Freedom from religion is not a religion. It has no tenets, no place of worship, and no congregation. To my way of thinking, your group is strictly an anti-religion group intending to deprive all organized religions of their constitutional freedom, or at least discourage the practice of religion. The city of Warren cannot allow this."
You know, that's actually slightly refreshing that someone's not trying to call atheism a religion for once.
When
Well,
it's in their favor to call us not a
Right.
religion,
Yeah.
they want to. But when they want to
Yeah.
really piss you off, then atheism is just another religion.
Yeah, but I mean, for the legal purposes, which is what he's getting in trouble for the legal purposes,
Yeah.
atheism is a protected class on religion. So
Absolutely.
So
The-
here he just starts like tying the Constitution in knots. He's like, religion is better than no religion. And if only you were a religion, I would totally let you do this. Because religion, yay! But you're not, so tough titties. So, but then it gets even better. Here's where it gets even better.
It can get
'Cause-
better than that.
Oh, it gets better. Because, of course, he got sued. And, he's sticking to his guns because, yay, religion. And then he just goes full Godwin. And he's like, the city has certain values that I don't believe are in general agreement with having an atheist station, nor in general agreement with having a Nazi station or a Ku Klux Klan station. I cannot accept or will not allow a group that is disparaging of another group to have a station here. Because reason
Chat room.
equals...
Did you see that?
They already did it.
my.
They did it the other day. So
Damn.
they
Sorry,
already
I didn't
copied
mean to
them.
interrupt you.
You're a terrible human being. Here I am talking about Nazis and...
I'm the terrible human being. He's the one saluting.
Oh, dear. This is
Wow.
what happens when I read, apparently.
I was paying attention to you.
Thank you, Susan.
I was
You're
paying
welcome,
attention right
Amanda.
up until he's.
Until I started doing the Nazi slur. I know.
It's
So the other thing that this guy said was, I believe that City Hall should be open to all ethnic groups and all religious points of view. Clearly not all religious points
yeah,
of view.
no.
Everybody
no.
except.
That's why you're getting sued, you
Yeah.
tool bag.
Yeah.
Why have we not done this and set up alongside?
We need to.
There's several avenues that
Yeah.
we can do it. Like a art walk.
Yeah.
Like there's a religious stand every single month.
Oh, is there really? Don't you have to sell? Are they selling anything? Don't you have to sell
I
something?
don't think they were selling
No,
anything.
they were
no.
just giving away like pamphlets.
Because I think I was told that you had to sell something because we were trying to find things to sell so we could do that. But what I want to do is go down there and have a contest, a Convert the Atheist booth, where we'll bring our audio equipment, have Christians sit down across from the table from us and say, okay, give us your best shot. Why should we believe in your stupid God?
Oh God,
And
I want to
record
be
all
there.
that and we'll put it on the show.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Can we actually do this time
Yes.
instead of
Yes.
just coming up with a great idea and never doing anything about it?
Especially if we don't have to sell anything. Because the reason we haven't done it so far is because people told me you have to sell something. if
We
you have
can
an art
sell
walk.
shit.
Well, but there's at least one member of CCA that will set up a booth where she is selling stuff.
Okay, great. So we'll just glom onto her. We're going to do this. Stay tuned. It's going to be awesome.
Glom onto her, not climb under
I heard
her,
climb
which is what
onto
I heard. And
I was just like, nobody's gonna
wait,
call
what?
that. Okay, I guess I'm just hearing shit again.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but I'm climbing.
Okay, but here it even gets better from that because he goes with the whole like Nazi station, Ku Klux Klan station, but then obviously he like read the interview, and he comes back and he's like,
Whoa.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, I'm obviously not comparing atheists to Nazis or anything. They're loyal Americans and blah 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 blah. And then he, pulls out the old standard of, because I love everybody. Like, I hired an African American, you guys.
Yeah,
And
my assistant is an
Yeah.
Arab American.
that's right, because I am tolerant.
I was the first mayor to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
What? Just what?
So
What year is it?
what kind of podunk ass backward little town that this racist jack
And this is out of Michigan. This is like
Yeah,
the
it's not
northest-
Alabama or
this is the
something.
northest north-
Apologies to our Alabama listeners.
Hey, Alabama, fuck you.
nice straw man though, dude.
It's
Yeah.
so embarrassing when white people pull out the "my best friend is," "my executive assistant
I know.
is."
Can I do that as a brown guy? Can I pull this out and be like, I've got a white friend?
I'll pretend to be your friend. I'll be your fake
The
white
token.
friend.
The look of horror
Man,
was
stick
great.
it in and break it off. Why don't you? Or
He's not a moil, okay? Gonna be the token white friend.
So Corpus Christi Atheist meets every Sunday at 5:30. If you want to see Christians stick it in,
Break it off.
come to Surf Club this weekend. We'll be there on Sunday. If you don't know where that is, visit ccatheist.com for a list of our public events. And if you're interested in connecting with any of our affiliates, you can go to southtexascor.com.
There are a whole bunch of people who want to go to Art Walk to do this thing.
I think this is gonna be
In the chat
great.
room, I mean, in the chat room.
I mentioned this months ago and sent you a picture.
I think it'd be pretty epic.
Well, it's amongst the other pictures I was sending you. Maybe they were.
Was
a
it
little more
porn?
memorable. Don't
I
act like
thought
you
that the
don't know.
booth was just a close up of your dick. And so I
No,
deleted
it would have been his
fast.
balls.
Oh, sorry.
Seen it.
Moving on. So the Satanic Temple, they're attempting to turn the Supreme Court's decision to allow employers to control what their employees' health insurance covers on its head by launching a campaign to obtain religious exemption to the anti-abortion laws that discourage women from terminating a pregnancy. Now, the Satanic Temple says that they have deeply held beliefs about bodily autonomy and scientific accuracy that are nice, yeah. They're violated by these anti-choice laws and the misleading information, about abortion and the risks and everything like that. So, and this is the same group that held a ceremony that was celebrating same-sex unions on the grave of Fred Phelps' mother. Yeah. And they also posthumously turned her into a lesbian.
They teabagged her gravestone,
And that's how you turn someone into a lesbian?
apparently. I guess
That seems like it would not work.
no, that's obviously how it
Yeah,
works.
nobody wants fucking balls in their mouth. All right, some people want fucking balls in their mouth, but
Why are we judging?
Apparently, Amanda's not one of those people.
I am not one of those
Just
people.
for future reference, people.
You're welcome.
Slut shamer.
Only if the balls are covered in cheese. The chat room will get that if you read the chat
I
room.
wasn't reading, but okay.
Or peanut butter.
That was last week's show. All right.
So
These guys are my favorite religious, quote unquote,
Quote-unquote,
organization of all time. I mean, this is frankly brilliant. I'm surprised it's taken us so many decades to come up with this. I
Yeah.
really am.
It's funny too because Ginsbergs Descent was brilliant. It was like 46 pages. It was just amazing. I read through it like constantly. But yeah,
Nerd.
yes,
But
yes,
do
I
tell
know.
us about it.
But she basically said, "Hey, you guys are totally opening up all of these lawsuits. This shit is gonna happen. This is what you're doing." And actually, immediately after that, some of the prisoners at Guantanamo
Yes.
started suing for the same reason, because they're like, "Hey, Religious Freedom Restoration Act, that should apply to us too, and you're inhibiting our religious freedom." So this is frankly brilliant.
It's just like Louisiana when they started allowing public funds to go to religious schools, and they didn't realize that it was going to go to Muslim schools and Wiccan schools and Jewish schools.
they freaked the hell
They
out.
did. And every single one of those jackasses who voted for it were like, had I known it was going to go to non-Christian schools, I'd never have voted for it. And that's exactly what we're going to see now. I can't wait for the tortured logic we get from
Yeah.
Antonin Scalia about how this is totally different. I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to be just embarrassing. And John Roberts, I know he listens to our show. Your court is a joke, and it is getting increasingly more jokey as we go on. You need to get a hold of this crap, man.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
What
Yeah.
he said.
If they do, I mean, so there's not actually a lawsuit attached to this. This is just something that they're out there saying we are demanding our rights.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do it. If they, they're selling T-shirts, so go get yourself a Satanic Temple right to accurate medical information T-shirt if you want to support them. If they did a fundraiser to actually do a lawsuit, I would freaking fund the hell out of that thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just I wonder what kind of bullshit the Supreme Court would pull out to try and torpedo this after everything else that they've said. I mean, it's...
Can they? I mean,
they can do whatever they
Scalia
want.
has already done it because
Yeah.
his previous ruling about the rights of Native Americans to ingest peyote is what led to the Religious Freedom Restoration Act in the first place, because he said, no, just the fact that you say your religion makes you smoke weed doesn't mean shit. But when it's good Christians, then there's a whole different idea.
Right.
So
different standards, of course.
He's not a smart man. He's
No.
not
No.
a smart man.
No.
I mean, he's not even good at rationalizing crap. I mean, his ruling in this latest case is a disaster area, especially what he had to come back because all the schools were saying, hey, we object to contraception too and whatever. Totally went back on exactly what he said the first time.
Yeah.
It's a tortured mess. The guy is
Yes.
an idiot.
yeah. And I think it's very, very interesting that every woman and every non-Christian on the bench dissented.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this will be interesting to see how this goes.
And how the... I'm just saying, we have an overabundance of Catholics on this court.
Yes, we do.
It is in excess of it's statistically unlikely that we would end up with this number of Catholics on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
We are women are underrepresented. Every other demographic pretty much is underrepresented on this court, except for Catholics who are overrepresented on this court, and
Yeah.
they are, ruling as if it's a theocracy. So,
I think they were. I mean, I know this has been said before. They were so extremely short-sighted when they made that ruling that they were not thinking about the ripple effect that it was going to cause.
Yeah.
They just kind of didn't care. They were all like, "Oh, hey, let's do this ruling for this," not realizing that they were just fucking everybody.
Yeah. And
I'm interacting with the chat room. Fuck you.
Even Ted Cruz was like, we're going to see hundreds of more lawsuits come forward. And it's like, that's not a good thing,
Yeah.
Ted. Do you understand that?
Hey, Dan. Fuck you, Dan.
Atheist Dan R in the chat room asked Jay if he got the Mormon newsletter he signed him up for. Because
Sure did.
Jay, like a genius, gave out his personal email address on last week's show. Good job, Jay.
I'll do it again. I don't care.
I was actually looking for Jehovah's Witnesses ones to sign you up for on like last Wednesday or something. I was like, man.
You should do that because they are all over the bluff, and that's where Jay lives.
Oh yeah.
They are all. I get mail from Jehovah's Witnesses in the bluff constantly.
Sure do.
All right. So speaking of tools, Mike
Mr.
Armitage. Mike Armitage is a tool. He's also a creationist tool, which wasn't really an issue for him when he interviewed with California State University Northridge, who even, despite the fact that he said, I am a creationist, in his interview, hired him in 2009 as a part-time electron microscopy technician. And now there's really two stories about this. So the first one, one is about Mark Armitage, tool, creationist, douchebag. The other is about California State University's hiring procedures because
There's standards.
right, probably being a young Earth creationist won't stop you from being a good microscopy technician, I guess. But let me give you guys this dude's credentials. He has a Bachelor of Science in Education, which is okay for that, I guess. But he got it from Liberty University.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's an unaccredited...
That's one of those words.
Yeah, exactly. Liberty
Family.
means bullshit.
Yeah. Every time I see the commercial, it's like, with a Christian worldview. And I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. So it's an unaccredited Christian university that was founded by Jerry Dumbass Falwell. But he also has a Master of Science in Biology with an emphasis in parasitology, except that he got that from the Institute of Creation Research.
Christ in combat.
They can issue degrees?
Right? I know. Well, I guess anyone can issue degrees if they're unaccredited. So we get Atheist Airwaves degrees.
Sweet.
$5. You can have a PhD in tinkle boxes.
Someone in the chat room needs to get on that shit right now and get me a degree in tinkle boxes.
We need that, seriously. Whoever comes up with a really good-looking PhD degree,
I feel like we should.
suitable for framing in tinkle boxes.
I'll take a bachelor's.
Someone please go reserve the URL boxdocs.edu.
I feel like we should constantly have a pomp and circumstance on loop
Hey.
in the background of the show.
Oh my good lord.
Why the hell am I
Okay.
friends with you people?
So, getting back to Tool Mark Armitage, he's actually also a current doctoral candidate, but also at the Liberty University. Why would an actual university want to hire this guy is my first question.
Desperation.
I guess. I mean, it's a part-time job. so-
Temporary, too.
right. So maybe no one else wanted that. They wanted job security and actual hours to work. I don't know.
They wanted somebody who they were going to be able to pay the least and didn't have to sort of go, well, they're qualified, but we don't want to pay them as much.
Qualified-ish will work for minimum wage. Okay, so anyway, he was hired after all of that. In 2012, he was actually asked to teach a class on biological imaging, which actually went swimmingly well. He did a good job. He taught his stuff. He kept his stupid religion out of it. He just taught the science until he went on a dinosaur dig and he found what is called the largest Triceratops horn that has ever been discovered at this particular site. He brought it back to his lab and found that there was soft tissue still existent in the fossil, which is crazy awesome. Like,
That's super cool.
I actually read, he published later, and I actually read his journal article. It's super interesting. It's awesome. But he's a creationist. So, of course, what he did is he went back and said, there's soft tissue in this Triceratops fossil, so obviously it's only 6,000 years old and not 65 million years old. And then he went off skipping to his class and taught his class that.
That's horrible.
Which, awful. So Dr. Ernie Kwok of the biology department.
Awesome name.
Right? I don't know. Dr. Kwok.
Dr. Quack?
Doc
I don't
Kwok.
think that's...
Doc Kwok.
They call me Dr. Kwok.
He was a little perturbed by that development, and apparently he went and screamed at this guy and said, quote, "We are not going to tolerate your religion in this department."
2 exclamation points.
2 exclamation points. In the lawsuit, they included 2 exclamation points.
I think the additional exclamation point is to convey that there was spittle coming out of his mouth.
Did they also type it in all caps?
I think so, actually.
Did they? I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, so that nothing happened. Dr. Kwok bitched him out and said, "Motherfucker, don't do that." So flash forward to the next year, he got his findings published, which I mentioned, in a peer-reviewed journal, Acta Histochemica, and he did that without referencing anything about his goofy young Earth creationist bullshit theories about it. So he just stuck to what he observed, the empirical evidence of, what he imaged in his lab. So a year after that, he was let go from his job. And the university says it was because they ran out of funds and it was a temporary job anyway and whatever. Of course, this Christian guy is screaming,
Persecution!
Persecution! And they let him go because he's a young Earth creationist, despite the fact that he'd been employed there since 2009. Mentioned he was a young Earth creationist in the interview. Taught it in a class and got yelled at, but was employed for another year after that. Apparently, this is Christian persecution.
Totes.
What else could it be?
Well, it could be a right-to-work state where he accepted a part-time temporary job and the funding dried up and he no longer has a job.
And what's even better is there's actually a scientific explanation for why there was still soft tissue on those bones. It was the iron in the dinosaur's blood that actually preserved the soft tissue, and there's all sorts of cool stuff that I read about it and everything. Yeah, sciencey. So it's kind of like we don't. I love that shirt. She's wearing a Carl Sagan shirt, so I really dig it.
Boobs.
So because
Boobs and Carl Sagan.
two of my
Together
favorite
like
things.
Ravioli and Tinkerbell. I don't know.
Anyway, so they're kind of applying the God of the Gaps argument with this because they didn't immediately know why there would have been soft tissue on these bones. They said, well we don't know, therefore God.
They found soft tissue before. This isn't the first soft tissue. I
Yeah.
mean, they already knew this. This guy just got excited and he got his creationist boner on and went skipping merrily to his class saying, "Oh my God, you guys, I have read nothing, but this is what I think."
Yeah, exactly. Since he didn't know right away the cause of it, he was all like, "Hey, look at this, guys."
Yeah, it's crazy. I do have to say, like, it's intensely interesting that we have this soft tissue that we can look at it, and I mean, this is actually a piece of a 65 million year old dinosaur, and we can look at it and examine what they were like. That just blows my mind. The other thing I wanted to mention about this story, though, was Hemant Mehta over at the Friendly Atheist blog discovered that this man has actually written a book, which is so. First of all, the book is amazing. His book is called "Jesus is Like My Scanning Electron Microscope."
Invented by man?
A scientist looks at his relationship with his creator. But that led me to this creation because I went over Discovery. I went over to Amazon.com and I was looking at all the reviews of his book. Most of them are very bad.
Are you surprised?
Toolbag Mark Armitage likes to talk about himself in the third person. I don't know whether he thought he was like, not like someone would think that it was someone else, but like his username is Mark Armitage. So
Mark Armitage is the smartest guy Mark Armitage has ever met.
exactly.
That's kind of like me using my username of the Susan Turpin and then constantly. I'm gonna start doing that.
So someone left a 2-star review of his book and said, "This is dumb as hell, y'all." And I think that's like the best y'all I've ever given as a Yankee.
I'm really proud of you for
I'm
that.
pretty proud of. I had to call it out because I'm like, that's the first time I've ever actually. I think that was semi-convincing.
Semi-convincing.
Okay. So anyway, he responded to his critic. He said, quote, "Everybody is a critic, especially the liberal evolutionists who are afraid to use their own names. Armitage's name is out there. Hell, you can even get his phone number and call him." Why did this not occur to me before the show? Someone Google.
Is this Mark Armitage?
The Mark Armitage? Someone Google that shit. If someone in the chat room can find Mark Armitage's phone number, we will fucking call him right now. Good. I don't care what time it is. Well, it's going to be early there. It'll be like
it's
dinner.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to interrupt his dinner? Awesome.
Yeah, we totally are.
Cool.
Okay,
Or his
someone
prayers or
someone
whatever.
find his phone number and let's do this. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay, so let's talk about an asshole.
Okay, Jay, let me tell you what. Go ahead. You can talk about whatever asshole you want to.
Is it not that time yet? Thought it was
There's
that
always
time.
time for assholes.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to talk about you, but if you had a specific asshole in mind.
Now you're catching on.
No, Jody Hicks, he's a dick.
Douchebag.
Yeah.
I thought he was an asshole.
He's a douche asshole. Dick asshole. He's an asshole dick. I don't know. However you want to call it.
Dickhole?
He's a dickhole. He's an anti-Islam pastor, and he's said all sorts of crazy shit. He thinks there's a homosexual plot to sodomize children. Just
Obviously, there is.
all sorts of crazy stuff. And yeah, he won the Georgia primary for that
Republican Party.
whatever politics
glad-
Politics ball.
shit.
I'm so
stuff,
glad you
whatever.
prepare for this show, Jay.
Well, you're the one who hands me the politics ball shit, knowing I'm not going to give a fuck.
You chose it.
It was what was left.
That's not my fault. All right. So this guy
yeah, he's
is
a dick.
Is a dick. But did anyone recognize the guy he's actually beat?
Brown or whatever?
Brown? Yeah. He's the guy who called evolution lies from the pit of hell.
Oh, exciting.
So, I mean, Georgia is a cesspool of just ridiculous nonsense.
Excellent.
This is how crazy Georgia is. I mean, the evolution is lies from the pit of hell guy wasn't crazy enough. They needed someone just a little bit crazier before they were really satisfied with their representation in Congress. This guy is going to be the next representative from the state of Georgia because it's
There's really no competition.
It's gerrymandered. It's a heavily conservative district. This guy is going to be the next guy.
So you know what? Georgia, fuck you.
Yeah, thank you.
Are we apologizing
No.
to Georgia? No, okay.
I don't even apologize to our Georgia listeners. What the hell is wrong with you?
I just figured it out.
This guy, Jody Hicks, he's another one of those. The first, I know. Did you just see the degree? Is that what that's about, or what?
No, I found his phone number.
Did you really? What? Let's call him. Can we call him?
Sure, let's get after it.
All right, hold on. Hold on.
No.
Go ahead and. Are you sure it's his? Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my.
Let's do this.
Is that you might want to like
No.
star 67 your number, bro.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
Master of Applied Tinkle Boxing? That's the best.
That is amazing.
Hold on.
Make this
Hold this for a
editable.
I know, right?
I need to hang that in my non-existent office.
Let me see if I can make this work.
Oh my god.
This will be amazing if it happens.
Is it just me or is this like the worst idea ever?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Oh, I got a lot of editing to do now. Oh my God, you guys.
You're welcome.
Yes. I love you.
Turpin pulls
All
through.
right, give me the number.
Should you mute me?
No. On the fucking internet.
It's on the internet.
Good point. Okay. 626
626
969
969
5197.
5197.
Can we all call him at once if it doesn't connect?
Oh,
It didn't
it's
work.
disconnected.
God damn it.
You coward, Mark Armitage. All that editing for nothing. All right. So anyway, Jody Hicks is one of those. The First Amendment is only for Christians.
Sure.
It does not apply to any other religion, especially Islam, because he says Islam is a totalitarian way of life and only has a religious component to it, which sounds an awful lot like horse shit to me.
That's totally different from Christianity, you
Right.
guys. Totally.
Forget the dominionism and,
Yeah,
you
no.
know, all that stuff. And, you know, the theocracy you're trying to establish in our country. Yeah, it's totally just a religion, what you do. He also wrote a book that tried to use writer Michael Swift as evidence that the gay agenda is to rape children. He wrote about a story that Michael Swift wrote in the 80s that said, quote, "We shall sodomize your sons, emblems of your feeble masculinity, of your shallow dreams and vulgar lies." He, of course, failed to mention that that entire essay was satire.
I don't think he understands satire,
Right.
to be honest.
Although in this day and age, not a lot of people do.
It's true.
I can't tell you how much time I spend every day telling people that's satire.
Yeah, that's the Onion, babe.
Right.
That's the Daily Current. Just get off that site, because you obviously are not smart enough to read it.
I mean, and it's like so. I don't know. It just it boggles my mind that a person can be an adult living in this day and age and not see dailycurrent.com or theonion.com and have just a flicker of
I'm still trying to teach some of the people in my family how to properly get to a website. So if they happen to see that,
So
it wouldn't surprise me if now some of those people obviously can go, "Oh, that's funny. That's got to be bullshit." But some of them can't.
I gotta say, like, I assume that this person isn't listening, and I won't tell you their name. But I mean, reasonably intelligent people that I like. What gets me more than people who link to satire as if it's true is people who are annoyed when you pointed out
Yes.
that what they are being outraged about is not true.
Yeah.
You know, I had a friend of mine just the other day post something, and I was like, this doesn't sound right to me. It was from a site I'd never heard of before. I did some Googling. I found that, most of the money quotes you couldn't find from any other source. And then I looked at some of the other sources, found that they were from articles from 3 and 4 years ago that they just lifted. And I went in there and she got very upset. She was like, you must be very, very popular at parties, a lot of fun, and blah, blah, blah.
I
It's like,
remember that.
oh, did you see that?
I did see that. but
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I fight that battle as infrequently as possible, but I still wind up in that battle occasionally where I'm talking to people that I know, and I'm like, you do realize, even I'm telling you, and you know me.
If Jay tells you something's
that's
bullshit, you have
real.
gone way off the reservation.
You do realize that is complete propaganda bullshit, right?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's offending you because you think it's actually real? You saw that on Fox.
Their butt hurt.
Yeah. I have an aunt like that. She's posted that stuff a couple times. Like that. It's like a story of this guy in Egypt who buried his wife and his daughters because he found them reading the Bible. And they waited like a week, and then someone found them and dug them up because...
He buried his wife and his daughters?
And his daughters.
Oh my God, it's fun.
and then like they got dug up, and they were still alive after a week because God is good. And then there was a picture. And I was like, that's not from that. That picture is from something completely different. And I'm not saying your whole story is bullshit, but I'm going to just put out here that picture is nothing to do with this story. Yeah.
So the other thing this guy is doing is he is on a relentless crusade, so to speak, to put the 10 Commandments in every public school and every public building, and thinks that it's a critical activity to saving the United States of America from certain destruction. We have so many real problems in this country.
Yeah.
So many
No, we don't.
problems.
This is the problem with modern Christianity. They're like, we have to have the word of God everywhere. Fuck you, poor people. I don't care if you can eat. It's like,
I'm going directly against Jesus' teachings
yeah.
by
It's like,
not
wait,
helping you.
Wait, what?
Climate change, that's not a thing. God promised he wouldn't.
Yeah.
So not to totally derail, but I might have found another number for him.
Okay.
I messaged it to you in the
Okay.
Ustream. Private message.
Just tell him.
It doesn't matter.
Are you done with
Let's
that?
just move on.
Let's just move on. We tried.
What's the number?
Do you really want it?
Yeah.
All right, Jay's going to go for it.
Jay's
Do you
gonna
want
go
me
for it. Hold on. 213-248-1652. You didn't star 67 it, did you?
Don't give a fuck.
We should leave him a voicemail message if we get his voicemail.
Somebody else should talk to him because I don't know what the fuck. I don't know who he is.
Micro specialist?
Micro specialist? What does that mean?
Hi, who's calling?
This is Jay
From?
from What, have to be from something? I'm looking for Mark Armitage.
Jay, and what is Jay's last name?
Noyfub? Noyfub?
Okay, how can I help you?
I'm looking for Mr. Mark Armitage.
This is Mark, how can I help you?
1 second, let me pass you to my associate.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm sorry, who's calling?
My name's Christian. I'm a friend of Jay's. We were interested in your work with the Triceratops horn.
I'm having a lot of trouble understanding you. Could you please take it off a speakerphone?
It's actually not on speakerphone. Oh, it is on speakerphone. I'm sorry. Hey, can you hear me better now?
A little bit. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
My name is Christian. How are you?
And where are you calling from, Christian?
We're in Texas, actually.
Okay, and how can I help you?
We were just wondering, we had read about your work with the Triceratops horn, and we were just wondering, we had read some criticism of your assertion that it was 6,000 years old or thereabouts, and some scientists had claimed that it was actually because iron had preserved it, and we were just wondering what your reaction to that was.
I'm afraid that you'll have to speak to my attorney because this is all in litigation right now.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the Pacific Justice Institute?
The Pacific Justice Institute? I'm not.
Okay, they're in Santa Ana, California. You can just Google them.
Okay.
And ask for Michael Teffer.
Michael Teffer. Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Well done.
Why did you guys run the fuck away?
What was that? I couldn't stop laughing.
It was like too embarrassing. It was like watching a really bad episode of The Office. And I was just like, no, my God.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm actually supposed to say to this guy. I was not even listening to the whole fucking part. Here, talk to him.
Oh my God, I'm going to hell.
Too late.
Fucking litigation, man. It could have been so much more fun.
Oh, well.
Oh my God.
we got him on the phone, though.
That's so crazy.
That's so weird.
Anyway.
I'm going to go
So
like
here's-
Google myself and just delete all information that I find. I'm just like, nope.
Because some douchebag will call you.
Probably.
All right.
Now I'm Googling my
I don't
own
know.
phone
I don't
number.
understand what that would have to do with his. What does that have to do with his lawsuit?
Because it's
Right.
included in the whole
Probably.
assertion that why he was fired, because he's a young Earth creationist and those were his findings and blah 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 blah.
But what does that have to do with the actual science about it? I just think he's bullshitting. I just think he was like, Jay sounds really shady to me.
I didn't expect anybody to actually fucking answer, much less it be him. I was like, this is going to be like a voicemail for a front office or something.
That was not good.
Jeff's going to call him.
That was the worst idea I have ever had, and I used to be married.
Hey, I'm married.
You weren't married to my ex-husband.
Why was that the worst idea ever?
Did you ever meet my ex-husband?
No.
The calling him.
Oh, just
That was a good idea.
Wait. God, this is such a mess. It's gonna be such a pain in the ass to fucking edit.
I'm sorry.
But okay, Jeff Grime, what are the legal ramifications? Because I know in Texas that we can record things as long as we know that we're recording it. What are the ramifications of calling across state lines? If you could put that in the chat room, that'd be awesome, so that I don't get us all kinds of sued. Because this guy is suing people.
It's my phone number. Who gives a fuck?
Well, but I mean, he'll be able to. Our names are on the show, so if it's
If he Facebooks you,
yeah, I don't care about you so much, but I care.
We called a dude. I'm really not worried about litigation.
No, I don't know. I want to put it on the air if it's a problem.
You're such a pansy sometimes.
Dude, we just finished talking about the Skeptics Guide to the Universe getting sued. I don't want to go with them because we're not going to get the same kind of monetary support that they're going to get.
no.
Atheist,
He says it's totally
patreon.com/atheist airwaves stuff.
We can have another bake sale.
Jeff Grimes says it's totally okay.
He cannot do shit.
Sweet.
Petey Baby in the chat room says that phone call ruled. Okay.
Okay, so let's get back to our news stories.
Let's move on.
Or we can continue to talk about this totally more awesome thing.
No, because this is already going to be a nightmare to edit. So, Susan, why don't you talk to us about fart demons?
Fart demons.
Can we up
I've had a few of those in my day. Can we just say?
Yes, you have. Can we up the level of class in this thing and let's talk about fart demons?
Well, fart demons really, really gives like a whole new meaning to the never trust a fart saying. So anyway,
I'm sorry?
You've never heard the never trust a fart?
No.
You don't know what a shart is?
Because inevitably you're just gonna shit your pants if you trust a fart in any way.
Okay, can we not talk about this?
Class up to here.
I
Are we
know,
going
right?
to take calls today?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and queue up the line. We got 20 minutes left.
All right, cool.
Anyway.
Okay, so Skype us if you want to, Atheist Airwaves,
Yes.
and continue your fart demon story.
So, hey, no offense, gay people of America, but according to Pastor Bert Farias, you are all possessed by super stinky demons, and it's all your own fault, but he's really totally just trying to help you, all of you. So in a piece written for Charisma Magazine, which is this online Christian newsletter bullcrap that I might sign Jay up for, actually, Farias talks about how being gay is demonic and not even pigs want to be subjected to these demons, because he tells the story about in the Bible how Jesus cast out 2,000 demons and put them in pigs and then they all committed suicide.
This was really interesting to me because he then goes on to say that pigs are wiser than humans often because they wouldn't take these gay demons. However, I just wanted to point out that homosexuality has been observed in pigs. I mean, this is a thing.
Hasn't homosexuality been observed in nearly every
Almost every
species?
single one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Every single pig?
yes.
They're all gay. All of them.
So he actually goes on to talk about how a prophet of God called him on the phone and couldn't even be bothered to actually go up to Farias in person. He called him on the phone to tell him of the prophet was telling him about his own ability, the prophet's ability, to smell the demon spirit, which made him sick to his stomach.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm kind of wondering is where...
Call Mark back.
Well, what I'm kind of wondering is where he gets the fart demon and the homosexuality connection.
All right, hold on, we got a call.
Cool.
I think it's the Golgotha.
You are on Atheist Airwaves Live. Who is this and what do you want? And you should be wearing headphones, you mother. Hello?
You need to turn off
Hello?
you also need to turn off your listening device.
What?
Exactly. Who is this and what do you want?
This is Amanda.
Hi,
Hello,
Amanda.
Hecky.
What do you want?
Oh.
Oh, she wanted
You
to
guys
talk
were
about
talking
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Witnesses earlier.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I had a question.
Okay.
So tonight, I can't hear anything you guys are saying.
I don't care.
Put in headphones.
So tonight on my run, I'm running down the street and there's two Jehovah's Witnesses in front of me and they like accost a woman mowing her lawn.
What?
And I really wanted to confront them and be like, you're full of bullshit. But I didn't know exactly how to do it or what to say. So what would be the best way to go about fucking with them?
Punch them.
No. Okay.
Without her getting arrested.
I'm kind of going to go a little bit down those lines. Have you ever seen the Saturday Night Live punching people who are eating thing? Has anyone seen
Sounds
that?
familiar, but no.
Go Google that.
So
I would think like Night at the Roxbury, just start like kind
Yeah.
of body slamming into him.
I don't know, because, so two things. One is that if I were accosted by Jehovah's Witnesses while I was mowing my lawn, which would be really weird because my lawn is made out of rocks. But if that happened, I would be so mad if someone jumped in and muscled me out of my glorious moment of beating on some Jehovah's Witnesses. So keep that in mind, that you may be going in on another atheist's turf.
Didn't you mean to say beating off Jehovah's
I
Witnesses?
did not.
Okay.
Okay, so the other thing, though, is that I guess I would just observe the normal rules of human behavior. I mean, you know, you're interrupting someone else's conversation. Yeah, not Jay's normal rules of human behavior, but normal.
Put your balls on them.
I would be sorely tempted to insert myself.
How did you not realize before you even said that?
Because I am not Jay.
No, but you're just as bad.
I have pure intentions.
Of inserting yourself.
Inserting myself in Jehovah's Witnesses. Does anyone else have some really good advice?
I would follow bar behavior. I would look at the person mowing the lawn and give her that signal like, do you need a hand here, lady?
Do you need a wingman?
Because women know that signal.
Yes.
And if the woman gives you the holy fuck, help me out here,
Yeah, it's
then you step in.
It's this, isn't it?
Okay,
I have given people that look before.
That's very visual and not at all helpful on a podcast.
let's step back. Is this woman not wielding a fucking lawnmower?
There you go. You just,
I think she can handle it. She
This
just turned.
isn't-
well, but let's assume that she's
Wielding
a.
it and having the courage to use it are two separate
There you go.
things.
If she's a
So
pussy, then whatever.
Let's assume she's a well-adjusted human being, not like Jay, and is not going to use a lawnmower as an object to shut down a conversation.
Or insert herself.
I actually Googled how to deal with Jehovah's Witnesses, and apparently there's some things that you can ask them that the answer to the questions will contradict or prove wrong the doctrine that they've been taught. One of them is, has the society, meaning Jehovah's Witnesses Society, has the society ever taught anything scripturally incorrect? Might the society be teaching anything spiritually incorrect? Can Jehovah's Witnesses hold and discuss openly with other Jehovah's Witnesses options that differ from Orthodox Watchtower doctrine, blah, blah, blah. Basically ask them a bunch of not loophole questions, like specific questions that they're going to try to wiggle their way out of.
Basically, what you should do is go over to her, give her a kiss with tongue, and then turn to the Jehovah's Witnesses and say, "Why are you harassing my girlfriend?" That's the standard thing to do.
I'd rather
Do not
not
do
be
that.
arrested for assault.
No, I think she's into it.
She's mowing her lawn, clearly.
She wants it. She wants it. If she's out there mowing her lawn, come on. Why do you think she's doing that? It's because she wants you.
Obviously I'm
She's
the
trimming
worst
her
lesbian
bush.
ever. I didn't even mow the lawn.
That's
Didn't
right.
connect.
Tech Leslie in our chat room recommends asking them, "I like to masturbate. Can I keep doing that?" That I think is the best.
Can I do that right now?
Wait. Joshua B follows up with, "I like to masturbate. Mind helping me real quick?"
They are supposed to help you with any chores that you're doing when they show up. So there you have it.
And then you have to follow up with, now can I help you with anything?
All right. Thanks for calling in, Hecky.
Bye.
See ya. Why don't you tell us about some upcoming events?
So, all right. So Tuesday, August 5th, we are going to have Candace Gorham. She is the author of the Ebony Exodus Project. If you haven't picked that up, pick it up now. Regardless of whether or not you are a person of color, it's a really, really great read. It's definitely a different perspective on leaving the church than I ever really had. It's really, I really love her writing style. It's really, really fascinating. We also have the Expedition Beach Cleanup, which is on Saturday, October 11th. How long are they doing?
This is so much fun.
How long are they doing the pre-registration, like the discounted thing?
Oh, I don't
Are they
remember off the
doing
top
that?
of my head.
It's a couple of weeks. We have a couple of weeks.
What beach are they going to?
Pins.
Yeah.
Padre Island National Seashore.
But they go out a ways.
Yeah,
They
so
load
basically,
everybody in trucks.
They have a convoy of 4x4 pickup trucks. They take every team miles and miles down south, and everyone gets about a mile of space. And you have a time limit, and you go down. You're actually paying to clean up trash off our beaches, which sounds really stupid, but it's so much fun. It really is.
It's like a contest.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's fun.
I'm really stoked to do it because that does seem like it's a lot of fun.
You can also do it for free.
Yes.
And we
Yeah, but
frequently
then
do.
it's not a contest. It's about winning.
You know, I know there's one thing you can do it for free and party afterwards.
Well, okay.
Anyway,
So
Anyway, but
really,
that
really cool free stuff. Really good food last year. I forget where it was from, but the barbecue they had last year was amazing. We've got 2.5 teams. We had one team last year. We have 2.5 currently signed up this year. We're trying for 4. So if you are in the Corpus Christi area, please look us up and come join us on Expedition 2.
was it Jack's Dinner Bell?
Yes.
I just listened to that show like 2 days ago.
and what is the cost for this?
It is $20.
15 if you do it now.
Correct. The event itself is on Saturday, October 11th from 8:30 to 1. You can probably find information somewhere on the web. We'll post a link to it in the Atheist Airwaves.
If you're cleaning up the beach, you're good in my book.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So what about the Patreon stuff?
Oh, yeah. So thank you so much for everyone who signed up for our Patreon channel. We have, if you sign up this week, or any week, really, you will get access to our post shows, which are alternatively interesting or horrible. Or it's
A little bit of both.
Last week was mostly about us yelling at Jay some more.
Awesome.
So you want to get in on this early because we are planning a big sex show with prostitutes in our post show. You don't want to miss that one. So sign up at our Patreon channel. Donate just $1 per episode. Shove $1 in Jay's G-string, and you get access to our post show content. And we love you. And every single dollar goes to either improving the audio or video quality of our podcast or spreading our disease all over the place.
And allegedly, Christian is going to issue PhDs at some
that's-
point.
That's going. Tech Leslie already did it. Did you see that?
And I saw the thought.
It's awesome. No, she actually did one. It's already done.
Oh, no, yeah, I
I
saw
think
it.
it was Josh, actually.
No.
I don't know who it was.
Well, whoever did it. It's awesome. So if you would like a PhD in tingle boxing, please go to patreon.com/atheist airwaves.
I like how it got verbed.
Right?
Pretty awesome.
That was quick. Yeah. All right. So, science.
Science.
So, there's an amazing source of censorship. Bleh.
Censorship.
Yeah,
for you
let's
to
make
say.
up a word here now. Source of censorship. Several Republican senators have basically said, I don't believe in science, so you can't study it.
Stop doing it.
Yes.
Your science tells me things I don't want to know. So if you could just stop doing that, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's fine. They basically prohibited funding for proposing or implementing any executive order related to the social cost of carbon. So basically nothing having to do with carbon dioxide and the way it affects the world and blah, blah, blah. Then there was a second amendment that prohibited funding for climate model development and validation. So no climate change. We're not going to study that at all. Thanks, if you could just shut that door behind you. And then the third was from supporting climate change activities associated with the National Climate Assessment and the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report. So yet again, you can do nothing with climate change or carbon dioxide or these two landmark studies.
You can't research it. You can't do anything about
Yeah.
it. You can't talk about it.
That's right.
It's like
will not
Fight
fund
Club.
it.
So,
Yeah.
so guess what state one of these senators was from, or representatives?
Oklahoma?
Tennessee.
Oklahoma
Where the science is not ever allowed.
goes to
I don't-
die.
Yeah, apparently.
There was one show that I did some modified version of.
Yes,
Oklahoma.
I have that recorded. But this is like not new exactly. It's just new to this realm of science. So the NRA has lobbied successfully to stop the government from doing any research or investigation of gun violence in this country. Literally, we have an entire political party in this country who is devoted to quashing science and research. Their plan is to stick their fingers in their ears, yell la 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 as loud as they can and just stick to their preconceived notions of what is true, probably based on God.
Yeah.
Well, what I really, really hate is the fact that they call themselves climate change skeptics. A lot of the time, like global warming skeptics, and I'm like, no. Do not lump yourself in with the actual skeptics who are going to question all of the bullcrap that you stand for.
People who like that who call themselves skeptics because 9/11 truthers do the same thing. Basically, what they've done is they've asked a question, and that's a good thing to do. You should, any information you're given, no matter what source, you should question it. Basically, what they've done is they've asked the question. They've said, it doesn't make sense that heat made the World Trade Center collapse, and they get an answer from 9/11 truthers, and then they stop asking questions. And that's exactly what happens here with climate change. Is they ask a question, it's a good question, and they get a bad answer from someone, and they don't question the next answer. They only question the original information they were given. And this is how people end up with shitty opinions.
It's also how they end up with shitty science.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean that this science isn't going to continue to be studied. It just means it's going to happen somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I have this mental image of like Neil deGrasse Tyson just like hulking out and shaking them while turning green.
That'll be awesome.
But yeah, I mean, it just means basically America is no longer the forefront of scientific research.
Yeah.
That's what it really means.
And we wonder why other countries sort of point at us and laugh.
Yeah.
When it comes to because we have parties like this.
Those are European countries and they're pussies.
And they don't
Japan's
shave
making
their
fucking robots.
yeah.
And we're like,
No,
la,
like
la, la.
literally fucking robots.
Fucking robots.
Sex
Yes.
robots.
Yes.
Jay tuned out for a second, didn't he?
Well, I heard make them shave and then fucking robots.
Oh no. He was talking about the European countries, and I was all like, yeah, none of them shave their armpits, but I didn't get a chance to actually.
Yeah,
finish
so it came out as make them shave their fucking robots.
it. Yum.
Seriously, no
They're
one wants
really
a hairy
advanced robots, all right?
No one wants a hairy robot. We have social norms to adhere to, please.
Hey,
Especially not a sex robot.
some of us like fuzz.
So the last thing I wanted to say about this was just that, atheism doesn't mean that you're living a life based on reason or evidence-based positions, but it should. Our outro music from Tombstone to Dead Man, which we'll play in a little bit, so it's the very first line of the second half of his song. I love it. And basically it says, not even basically, literally. The line says, being a skeptic means so much more than being an atheist. And I totally agree with that. If you're an atheist, cool. If you came to being an atheist for dumb reasons, not so cool. If you came to be an atheist because you're a skeptic, or even if you did it backwards, you're an atheist and then you found skepticism, then we're cool. Living.
Yeah.
Christian just.
I'm just trying to wait for some silence so that I can edit this shit out.
You've been making lots of silence lately.
All right, cool.
It was really hard not to meow right then.
Oh, you mother. Okay.
No,
If you. I literally hate the hell out of Jay. You are like the worst best friend I have.
Okay, go ahead.
If you live a reason-based life, you will be an atheist. Being an atheist does not mean you will live a reason-based life. And the best hope for our planet, for our people, for everybody, is if we all take positions based on data, reality, and knowledge, and not just, I believe this, so I'm going to do whatever I can to prop up this silly belief, whether it's religious belief or stupid scientific belief or stupid belief about the world or metaphysical beliefs, whatever it is. If you don't have data, I'm not interested in you, and you're only going to hurt us. That's all I wanted to say.
Word.
Best thing you can do for our planet is die if you live an... Sorry, I was channeling Jay for a second, but I couldn't do it.
Oh, you said everything that needed to be said. The best thing you can do for this planet is die.
Yay, plague.
Thanks for listening to Atheist Airwaves. We're sponsored by Corpus Christi Atheists
No,
and the South Texas Listeners. Yeah, we're done.
No, we're not.
Why we're not done?
Because we have like 10 minutes of shit to edit out.
Oh.
We do. We have a lot of editing to do.
Well, let's just make more editing for Christian.
Yeah. All right. This leads us right into our next story, which is all science, fire, and brimstone. Scientists are warning that we are headed into a 6th mass extinction event currently. Previous events were the Ordovician-Silurian mass extinction, which occurred when most life on Earth existed in the oceans. The late Devonian, in which 75% of all species died out, which interestingly enough was not the worst one we've had on this planet. The Permian mass extinction, which was also called the Great Dying, which is the worst mass extinction event we have experienced, in which 96% of everything on this planet was destroyed. Everything that currently lives on this planet is descended from the 4% of species that actually survived the Great Dying. The Triassic Jurassic, and then finally the Cretaceous Tertiary mass extinction, which is also called the KT extinction, which killed off all of the dinosaurs. The extinction of species on our planet is a natural and normal phenomena. I mean, even if you look at evolution, if you evolve into a different species, obviously the old species becomes extinct. And we can tell by looking at the fossil record that no.
Doesn't necessarily mean the old species becomes extinct if it evolves from that.
That's technically true. Thank you for that correction, Jay. I am flabbergasted.
Wow. I'm amazed
especially
right now.
because, you could have different branches and it could evolve. That is brilliant. I don't know what to say.
But
you know what I do? You were wrong. Third time. Third time.
Someone talk about Stephen Colbert in the chat room. I fucking dare you. Go ahead.
But you know what's survived through those mass extinctions?
Possums?
I will survive.
Cockroaches.
Tardigrades, bitches. Water bears.
So anyway, a normal extinction level is about 1 to 5 species per year. Obviously, that's not all evolution. That's actual. You are not fit. You are voted off the planet. Extinction. Currently, these scientists say that we are at about 1,000 times that level. So 1,000 to 5,000 species every single year are being eradicated from our planet, and worse, we're causing it, which is a first in the history of this planet. And worse than that is we don't seem to care.
No.
So I'll say it again. The best thing you can do for this planet is die.
How does that help, Jay?
It's just like the climate change stuff, and people are just so short-sighted, and they don't really care. They are concerned about their needs right now, that they're like, hey, we're gonna.
Yeah.
He's just pointing at me.
That's why we don't have a desal plant.
Right.
We'll just keep building. Whatcha-who's-its?
Tinkle
Tinkle
boxes?
Water pipelines from the
Yeah.
lake. And
Yeah.
okay, so lakes dry up. We'll need a new water pipeline.
We'll need
Too
to
bad
drain
we
the water
didn't
from
think-
somewhere else.
Yeah, too bad we didn't think about this
To
50
help
years
support
ago.
all the other tinkle boxes people keep making. Hey, all I'm saying is quit making more fucking people.
Yeah.
No, I
You shut up, breeder.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, I purposefully have 2 kids. I have bread enough to replace myself and my wife, and we will die, and our children will go on. I think that continuing the human race is important. Sorry, I'm boring you.
Undoubtedly.
Continuing the human race is important.
Yeah.
It's just all these people with their fucking crotch trophies, and they just piss me off.
Crotch trophies may
trophies.
be my favorite new name for children.
I've heard the phrase crotch droppings too.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah. Anyway, but what really gets me in this article, they do specifically mention the loss of certain bees, and I heard a piece on NPR. It was actually on the Wholesome Heritage Garden that they have.
means nothing to me. Go on.
NPR, man.
Okay, why don't you tell us more about that?
We are practically NPR. was talking about, how if we lose bees, we're going to lose the potential for further pollination, which means we're going to have a drastically reduced...
Sorry, Reb just dropped a link to it. The closest thing to a sex robot you could find. It is not very close. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm currently looking for a link for a fuck saw so I can show him something different.
So the loss of the bees just leads to less pollination, which leads to fewer instances of plants growing, and that leads to less potential for food for animals and insects, which leads to less food for us, and it leads to less oxygen because they're not able to process everything, and it's... People don't realize that everything is connected.
It's the circle of life.
Wow. Atheist Dan R in the chat room asks, why is continuing the human species important? Anyone want to answer that? I have an answer, but I mean, I think that's a good question to ask.
So we can find out more about the universe.
I like that answer.
Buzz Aldrin wants us to go to Mars, bitches.
Yeah.
Buzz Aldrin said so. And he'll punch you in the face. So.
That's right.
I think this week is the 10-year anniversary of Discovery.
Man.
Well, no. The Mars, one of the Mars rovers. That's been on.
Wow.
That was me acting out the Discovery.
Atheist Dan R. Fucking ad block, bro. Have you heard of it?
Opportunity. I'm sorry, it's Opportunity that.
But it set a record, right? An off-world driving record, I believe, was set this week, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Off-road?
Off-world.
Off-world. And I just think it's really, really cool. I love space, man.
So we can start to wrap this up. First, let me just say, because we didn't get to it, Black Jesus.
Black Jesus!
Pissing off the Christians. Good thing.
Great thing. Did you queue up the Everlast song for this?
No, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
You never heard the song Black Jesus?
No. Okay, so but before we go, so Black Jesus, if you don't know, was it on FX?
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
It's the show from the creator of The Boondocks, Aaron McGruder.
Okay.
It's supposed to debut on August 7th.
So it doesn't look good. I mean, just looking at the trailer, I'm like, this doesn't look like
it doesn't look funny.
It sounds hilarious.
The concept is a good one. It's basically like a bum who thinks he's Jesus. He's a black dude.
No. It is the second coming of Jesus. He is stuck in Compton, and he is basically dealing with some of the most disgusting stereotypes ever.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, it doesn't look very funny.
No.
I will watch it because it's my job. But what was curious to me and what I kept thinking about all week, so there are Christian groups who are saying we're going to boycott and F you for blaspheming our Lord and Savior, which just, I mean, when they start in on that stuff, I'm just like, are you serious? But then I was thinking, okay, if someone started and like Stevens is like doing this nipple thing right now that
I was doing it earlier.
Can I try? I can't even reach. Okay, I can't even reach the nipples.
Yeah.
I can't reach the nipples. That sucks.
This explains so much.
Okay, but I can imagine on this show, if there was a television show that was mocking atheism or atheists, that we would be outraged.
No, I think I'd love it.
I keep going back and forth.
I
That's
think
the
I
other
would
thing.
laugh.
Well, but here's the thing: is that
It depends on whether it was funny, though.
Atheists in the
Yeah.
atheists in in the media in general are sort of all portrayed in generally the same way. We're all either uptight assholes, or we're jerks who are being super condescending towards everybody, and we think we're better than everybody else, and we don't bother to try and relate to anybody.
So Christian?
Right. That's me.
Pretty much, yeah. No, but it's basically we're all treated like how they portrayed Kevin Sorbo in God's Not Dead, which is just basically a caricature of atheism.
Dr. Bogosian.
I still fucking love that guy.
I do too.
Before Glee really just went off the rails,
I'm really getting aroused by your nipple playing.
You would not be the
This
first,
is
nor shall you be
post-show
the
stuff.
last.
I know, right? Can we,
So much editing.
Let's just move back to Glee. So before Glee went completely just awful, they had a really good episode where Kurt, who was the gay kid, like his dad had a heart attack and he was in the hospital, and everybody kept going and being like, we just want to pray for you, Kurt. We want to pray for you and your dad, and we think it's really important that we pray, and blah, blah, blah. And, like, they forced themselves into his dad's, like, hospital room, and he was just like, look, I get that you guys are religious, and that's great for you, but it's never been a source of comfort to me because I'm, like, the gay guy that God hates.
Yeah.
And so maybe just take your religious thing and get it out my face. And that was like the one time that I have been like, hey, look, we're just people, atheist people. Mm-hmm. We don't have to be a stereotype or a caricature. Yay!
I kind of do. I apologize for that, but I do kind of have to be the atheist caricature.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Are we done? I think we're done. Thank you for listening to Atheist Airwaves, sponsored by Corpus Christi Atheists and the South Texas Coalition of Reason. If you would like to compliment, complain, or make a suggestion, please write us at god@atheistairwaves.com. That does include you, Mark Armitage. Thanks to Tombstone's Dead Man for our outro music. Look for him on Facebook, and please don't forget to visit us at Patreon/Atheist Airwaves. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. And thank you to everyone who has already contributed to our show. Let's get some more so that we can get Jay and a G-string to do a little dance on the webcam. It's going to happen if you guys donate.
Post show up next.
Yeah.
Being a skeptic means so much more than being an atheist. And until you accept that, you won't relate to this. That cognitive dissonance that you experience is when there's things you claim to believe in but ain't living it. Most of you say you are the type to question everything until I hear the conspiracy theories that you echoing. And when I scrutinize the things you try to say are lies, expose your sources as suspect, I see your logic dies. Some still believe in pseudosciences, engage in special pleading when theists use the exact same reasoning. I've even seen atheists use arguments from ignorance and seem oppressed to tell me exactly just what the difference is. A skeptic without the ability to analyze is just as bad as the theist, cause he'll probably accept a lie. Just as long as it verifies all his biases, applying it to his knowledge pool, and then he's diving in. So I'm not saying that some conspiracies do not exist. I'm just saying that a lot of them are some bullshit. So I'ma call a spade no matter who asserts it. Nobody's perfect, and just one lie, then it's all perverted. Bring down the curtains on that sad display. The only ways to question yourself and all the things you say. Start the day, and maybe we can rise above and be examples for others to emulate, and that's the way we win this battle. So this is where I'm making my stand, and now regardless who don't like it or how they get mad, see why the rest of y'all capitulate and go with the plan. I'll be beating on this wall until I'm breaking my hand. So listen while I state official policy. No matter how I'm threatened with hell, then never silence me. I know that you don't see this as imperative, but I refuse to lose and let the stupid frame the narrative.
What is wrong with you fucking people?